Vancouver is coming off a really nice win against a shorthanded Celtics team without Jason Tatum. And we really have not been our best selves this year in terms of simming. We have had a one good stretch way up here towards the start of the year, and that was it. Otherwise, we have been around 500 aside from this 11-game win streak right here. So we have to figure out what's going wrong, and I think part of it is that we were playing through a star player and not going back to neutral. So today is our first look at what the team looks like with the neutral offensive focus. We are going to get through the All-Star break today, and we only have one All-Star. It's Franz Wagner. So I'm probably just going to skip the All-Star break unless he is a part of the three-point contest. But even then, it's really not that interesting to watch, in my opinion. So I'm just going to skip over it this year, and we'll see what game to watch later on. Well, actually, never mind. I kind of want to face the St. Louis Sound because they have a very similar record as to us, and they also made the finals last year as the 8th seed. They're currently 31-23 to our 32-21, so they're having a pretty good year comparably, and they also have a couple of really solid young players. They've got Javon Davis, they've got Alex Barker, Dylan Brooks is not talented. They do have Jaren Jackson Jr. They've got Rob Williams, the Time Lord, Ralph Simmons off the bench still. So they have a decent roster, and I want to see us face off against them again because this could be like a yearly thing. So let's do that today. Well, folks, we have simmed 2 games, and we have reached the trade deadline prior to our home matchup against the Sound. We're going to watch the one over here on the road after the All-Star break, but it's the trade deadline. I don't have any moves in mind. I think I want to rock with this team the rest of the way this season because we can find out how to maximize this roster. I don't think we need another piece or two to add to it. I think we did that during the offseason. So let's go see what trades were made so far, and then we'll see if any were made at the actual deadline. So we've already checked this recently. We've only simmed a couple of days, so the most recent trades have been Stephen Kennedy for Denny Avdia, Dan Westbrook and RJ Hampton for Monte Morris and a first-round pick in 2029. Rancotti was traded from the Celtics to the Timberwolves in exchange for Fred VanVleet, and Larry Bowman and Nurkic were traded for Carl Jennings and Aaron Wiggins from the Clippers to the Pistons. So that's what was done so far, not anything blockbuster, but let's sim through this and just see if any other deals are made. We do lose against the Sound in this matchup, and that's the injury report. There were no other trades made this season. No! Dosunmu has torn his right meniscus. He is done for the season. And not just the regular one either. He's out for the playoffs too. He's done for the rest of the entire year. You're kidding me. What a huge blow to our bench right after the trade deadline. No. That is absolutely killer. But I guess this means we have to give Wellington and Carney the keys to the offense off the bench. They're going to be our go-to guys. So we're going to go back to a 3-man lineup off the bench, an 8-man lineup in total, with Wellington, Carney, and Zubats coming off the bench. So I'll come back here once I have replaced Dosunmu's minutes with the rest of them. Alright, I have made all the adjustments. Here is our new rotation timeline. So we bump Hollins up to 34 minutes a game. That's 6 up from what it was before. Anderson and Wagner go up by 1. Keldon Johnson goes up by 5. Payne stays at 30. Zubats stays at 18. Wellington goes from 20 to 23. And Carney goes from 18 to 22. So here's your new timeline. It's showing where guys will play and at what times during each quarter. So we're going to rock with this the rest of the season unless more things happen. So we have finished our simming for today, and our game against St. Louis is going to be on national TV. So look forward to that. They are 34-27 at this point. We are 38-23. So in these last 8 games that we simmed, we go 6-2, which is a lot better than what we have seen previously in simming. So neutral offensive focus seems to be working, and I think it makes sense because you have a lot of guys in a similar skill range. So why would you want to focus just through one of them? You want to focus through all of them, right? So yeah, we go 6-2 in these last 6 sim games through the All-Star break. So let's dive into these box scores real quick. And also, if you notice, not a single game below 114 points scored by the Woodsmen. So the offense picked things up here as well. We start with an absolutely dominant showing against the Houston Rockets. Keldon Johnson drops 24 and 12. Anderson had 21. Wagner had a double-double with 21 points. Payne had a double-double. And Wellington and Carney both had 11. Hollins had 12 assists as well. This was prior to the injury to Dosunmu. I think he played the first 4 games for us in this stretch. But the Rockets, meanwhile, had 29 for Jalen Green, 15 for Ray Harris, and only 10 and 8 for Kyrie. Nobody else had more than 8 points. Then we took down Minnesota thanks to a strong second and fourth quarter. Christian Wood had 19 points, Jukic had 19, but the Woodsmen got 29 and 9 from Franz Wagner, 25, 6 and 5 for Anderson, and 12 and 9 from Will Hollins, and a good double-double for Don Payne as well. Wellington shot well off the bench, Carney not so much, and Dosunmu was 3 for 6 in this one as well. Keldon Johnson only had 6 points. And this was the loss against the Sound on our home court. We lose by 6 at home. Wagner drops 25, 5 and 7. Keldon Johnson had 23, Anderson down to 15 points. Hollins 14 and 8, Don Payne his 3rd straight double-double, and Dosunmu had 10 points. The Sound, by the way, had 28 from Alex Barker on a great shooting day, 12 for 15, and Ty Washington drops 20 points as well. We bounce back by taking down Portland. Anderson drops 29 in this one to lead the way. Hollins had 21 and 11. Wagner 21, 7 and 8. So those 3 guys played very well. Payne did too. Another double-double. Keldon Johnson 8 points. Wellington 7. Dosunmu 5. Carney 4. And the Trailblazers got 39 from Jalen Duren on a fantastic shooting day. 18 for 24. But nobody else really did all too much. Highland, had a lot of contribution, but nobody else played nearly as well as Duren. After a few days off, we do take down the Magic by 4 at home. Payne leads the way in scoring for us with 24 and 6. Wagner had 23, 10 and 7. Anderson 17 points. Hollins a double-double as well with assists and points. Keldon Johnson 15 points. We had, 7 guys in double figures here, so that's really promising. And the Magic had 23 and 7 for Jalen Suggs and 16 for Herman Pollard. Brent Davis 15 points, 8 assists. We notch our 3rd straight win by taking down Philadelphia on the road. McGee drops 15, Underwood 15 and 13. Almost their entire team scores in double figures, but nobody had more than 15 points. They scored the ball well, and Hollins had a massive day, his best game of the entire season. 30 points, 12 assists, 3 steals. 9 for 10, shooting 3 for 8 from downtown. Anderson 22 points. Keldon Johnson 20. Don Payne 16 points, 9 boards, and 3 blocks to go with it. Wellington 14 points. Wagner 12, 5 and 9. And now for the Rising Stars Challenge Box score. It was Team World taking down Team USA by 19 points. Perkins had 17 for Team USA. Dragic 13, Brent Davis 12. Don Payne played, he had 10 points, 8 boards. Nobody else was there for us for Team USA. For Team World, they got 20 points from Nimhard. Diaz had 19 and 11. Pavic had 19 as well. And we had nobody play for Team World in this one. And by the way, I forgot to even check, but Wagner did play the 3-point contest and he actually won it. No guarantee that he would have won if I would have watched that, but that's insane. And Rasheed Sanders, who we have seen previously in the Slam Dunk Contest, did win it this year for New York. Then in the All-Star game, Team Ja takes down Team Giannis in a thrilling game, 107-105. Tatum had 18 points, Zion 16, Calvin Gordon 15, Giannis 12, 4, and 11. Team Ja got 22 and 8 from Jokic, 15 from Garland, and Wagner had 9 points and 6 assists in this game as well. So honestly, a pretty successful All-Star break for Franz. But first game out of the All-Star break was an overtime win against the Brooklyn Nets. Ivy drops 22 and 8 for Brooklyn. Anthony Simons had 21. Cam Thomas had 16. De'Aaron Fox did 2. But the Woodsmen got 39, 7 and 3 for Simon Anderson, and 29, 9 and 9 for Franz Wagner. If we can get a similar level of play for these two guys, I'm not expecting 39 or 40 points a game or anything, not even 30, but like around 25 a game for each of our top two guys, we are going to be in business. Keldon Johnson, by the way, had 16 points in this game, and Will Hollins, 13 and 12. Zubac and Payne both had double-doubles, but Payne was 3 blocks shy of a triple-double, including blocks. That's insane. Carney, by the way, 2 for 12 in this one. Hope that he can turn that around, because we actually will need him a lot come playoff time. But what a performance by Anderson, man. Hopefully he can keep this up for the back half of the season. As it turns out, though, our very next game, the second leg of this back-to-back, was an overtime loss. This time against Portland. We came back in the fourth quarter after a terrible third. We forced overtime and then lost by 8, 122 to 114 on the road. Kennedy drops 29, Duran 23 and 12, Jordan Poole 18 points this time around. And the Woodsmen got 28 from Franz Wagner, 23 for Keldon Johnson, a double-double for Will Hollins, and only 16 points for Anderson. Shot fairly well, but he did foul out with only 26 minutes played. In fact, we had 3 guys foul out. Anderson, Wagner, and Payne all fouled out, but it looks like Anderson did well before overtime started. So we are coming off a loss, but we are 38 and 23, and look at how tight this is with the top 4 seeds. The Thunder are 1 game ahead of us at 38 and 21. We have a higher percent than the Pelicans do, but they have played 2 games more than we have, so they are above us. But we are both 1 game back from the Thunder, and the Spurs are only a half game behind us. It is tight at the top of this conference, and any of these 4 teams can come out on top. But we are also 7-3 in our last 10. The rebounds have gone up. The points per game have gone up since last time, and we are trending towards the right direction. And hopefully we can continue that without Dosunmu. But we have about like a month and a half or so left on the year. So let's dive into this game against St. Louis. And it looks like for this game that Ty Washington will start in place of Javon Davis. They will still obviously start Alex Barker, who is probably their best player. Maybe it's Jaren Jackson Jr., but Javon Davis has been benched. And you can see right here that Davis is not hurt whatsoever. He just has not played well enough to keep the starting job. So Washington this year has actually played very well. 16 points per game, 5 boards, 4 assists, shooting about 47% from the field, 40% from 3, and about 27 minutes per game, compared to Davis, who is shooting worse than last year, about 1.5% worse than last year. About 12 points per game, 3.5 boards, 3.7 assists, and he's playing more per game than Washington is. So this makes sense for them. So with that being said, let's dive in and head to St. Louis to take on the Sound. Here we go at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri. They win the tip. They will start with the ball. Both teams trying to make their final push for the playoffs the last month and a half or so of the season, as Washington's first shot is off the mark and Payne pulls down the board. But then on the other end, Hollins turns the ball over. Not sure what happened there. He just lost it, and Williams ended up with the steal. By the way, bit of a size mismatch down low, at least like a rebounding mismatch, as Wagner gets that steal off of Washington, but they got Jaren Jackson Jr. and the Time Lord down there in the paint. So we're going to start with Payne on the Time Lord, but if Jaren Jackson Jr. owns Wagner for some reason, then we'll have to switch those guys around, as Payne gets blocked by the Time Lord and goes up to Dylan Brooks. And he finds the cut by Barker. Bucket plus the foul. First points of the day. And the free throw from Barker is up and good. Hollins off the screen from Payne. Gets down low. Fires and gets fouled by Washington. As Payne will hype his boy up. Hollins has played a whole lot better this year than last year. It's actually pretty incredible how different he has looked. He has shot better, he has passed better, and he is a true point guard. So it's great. Brooks steps back, pulls the trigger, and missed the shot from downtown. On the other end, Payne is blocked again out of bounds by Williams. Already 2 in the first 2 minutes for him. Payne inbounds. 2, Anderson. Out to Johnson. Time counting down because the clock does not reset. Nice shot there by Keldon Johnson. Vancouver with their first lead, 4-3. Screen from Williams. Barker takes it inside. Can't finish though. Payne there on the stop. Hollins gets inside the paint. Pulls the trigger. Not the best look right there. Barker against Wagner goes to Jaren Jackson Jr. mismatch against Anderson. Passed out of it though. They go to the Time Lord. He has to find Barker for a forced 3, which was very well contested. Great job right there on defense. Hollins finds or tries to find the cut by Anderson. I spoke too soon. It was Barker that found the ball instead. And now a 3 top of the key that goes for him on the other end. St. Louis ahead 6-4. Hollins finds Anderson this time. Now a screen from Payne. Anderson takes it. Goes back to him, or at least tried to. And Barker gets another steal. Wow, what a deflection right there. Just a lazy pass, honestly. Now Ty Washington tacks on 3 more to their lead. We're going to try this play, but flipped. And we turn the ball over again. Barker has done his homework on this play. Screen from the Time Lord. Ty fires and misses this time from downtown. Hollins. High arcing 3 off the mark. Got to find some better offensive looks here. We have not played well to start this game on offense. Dylan Brooks attacks. Wagner can't stop him. Are you serious? It's Dylan Brooks, people. After a Vancouver timeout, what do we draw up here? How can we get ourselves going? Anderson, wide open 3. He airballed it. What's going on in the Enterprise Center? What is going on inside this building? Time Lord feeds Jackson down low against Wagner. His step back shot is through. We're down by 9. Payne with it to Anderson for 3. This time he knocks it down. Will that give us a spark? I hope so. Jackson over Wagner again. Got it to go. I'm scared to take Payne off of Williams because then the rebounding becomes a bigger issue, I think. So just hope that Franz can get a couple of stops later on this game. Payne with it, though. He goes to Franz. Back out to Anderson for 3. 2 in a row now for him. There we go. Jackson. Backing down Wagner. Stifle this time. Hands off to Brooks. He knocks it down. Anderson trying to go for 3 in a row. And he does so. Yes, sir. Barker off the screen. Can't knock down that 3. Not the best look in the world. On the other end, Anderson attacks and is fouled by Ralph Simmons. We know his name. Anderson's first free throw is up and in. 91% free throw shooter this season. Phenomenal shooter overall. He knocks down both. 2-point game. 5 to go in the first. Well, we jump ahead with just below 7 to go until halftime, and we are down big. 44-27. What the heck happened? Outscored by 9 so far in this quarter. Lost the first one by like 8 or whatever it was. We got to find some offense here and some defense too. We just got to put a run together. Anderson's 3 this time is off the mark. Simmons attacks the basket and got 2. We're down by 19 points. Would have loved to know what went wrong between where we left off and simmed from, but I guess not. Anderson trying again. There he goes. Barker off the screen. Mid-range jumper. Missed it. Hollins to Wellington. Open shot. That one's off, though. Javon Davis pulls up for a jumper. Missed that one in transition. Now back to Anderson. He spins and fires. That one's good. 18 points for Anderson, 75% shooting so far. He has been looking like the only good offensive player out there for us so far. And now a steal for Payne off of Javon Davis. Not sure what he saw there, but it was a bad look. And now we find Johnson at the rim thanks to Will Hollins. Davis trying to fire again. That one's off too. Hollins goes to Anderson. Not going to fire a 3 right now. Mismatch against Ty Washington. Timed counting down. Anderson fires off of 1 foot, 1 leg in the face of Washington. Can't knock it down. That is one of the worst looks we have had all day. Davis waves off the screen, fires from the elbow, and this time knocks it down. We have shot 34%. What? We call a timeout, but what the heck? Hold on. Box score. See, Barker's got 12. Brooks has 10. Nobody else really playing, too well for the Sound, but a lot of guys have scored. And Anderson, as we saw, 18 points. Carney's got 8. We have not seen him touch the floor yet. Johnson's got 6. Hollins, 2 points, 0 for 4, though, with 3 turnovers as well. Payne is 0 for 5. Wellington 0 for 1. Wagner 0 for 2. Zubats 0 for 1. So we're getting no help from 4 guys right now, and not a lot from Hollins scoring-wise either. Wellington for 3. Got it! Top of the key. Contested shot, but it's good either way. That cuts the gap down to 11. But Ty Washington makes a great find to Barker, who was cutting. 24 points per game this year for Barker. Having a much improved year compared to last season. Anderson for 3, trying to answer back. He got it. 10-point game now. 21 in the first half for Anderson. Still plenty of time left for him to add to it. Screen from Jackson. Ty from the elbow. Out of a shot finds Jackson. He has an open look, but he missed it. Wellington in the paint finds Wagner below it. Had a mismatch, but passed out of it. Now that's a bad shot, and Washington pulls down the board. Don't like that at all. On the other end, though, a mismatch down low for Jackson against Wellington. 2 points. Wellington with it, finding the cut by Anderson. There we go. It works this time. We are just feeding him the ball right now because he is the only guy that is shooting well, besides, like, Carney, who's on the bench. Well, actually, he's out there right now, so I'm wrong about that. But Arnold over Zubats, missed it. Chance for us to get it below 10 points now. Carney with it. He goes to Wellington. Decent look for 3. Off the mark. Wagner's there for the board and for the bucket, too. That's his first points. We have cut the game down to 8. Got to keep chipping away here until halftime. Just over a minute and a half left until the break. Washington feeds JJJ. He spins. Thought about shooting, chose not to. Now back to Washington. Now over to Barker. And Javon Davis will pull the trigger. That one's off the mark. Really good stop right there by Vancouver. Javon Davis is 2 for 6 so far. We've seen pretty much all of his shots. Zubac to Wagner to Carney at the rim. 2 more. And we are closing this lead pretty well. Jackson sets the screen. Washington trying to go back to him. Wagner steps in front for the steal. Carney finds the Wellington cut. 2 more. 4-point game. Now Barker for 3. Off the mark. And the first half ends with St. Louis in front 52-48. But it could be a lot worse. All right, we have jumped ahead. We have skipped the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. Going to watch the last 7 of it to get more from the backups and some from the starters too, who are mostly still out there except for Franz Wagner with Wellington out there in his place. We're down by 2, but Anderson ties it up. 59-59. Already 4 fouls on St. Louis in the quarter. They had 6 back in the second, so a lot of fouls on them it seems like. We'll see if free throws come into account later on. Javon Davis off the screen. Fires, blocked by Don Payne right there in his face. Hollins for 3 in transition. Got it to go. Vancouver with their first lead since the early goings. Simmons to Davis for 3. Wide open, but way too high. And we come down with it up by 3, trying to increase our lead. Anderson sees Keldon Johnson at the rim. I saw him too. He was wide open. And we have started this third quarter phenomenally. 64-59, your new score. Vancouver up by a couple of possessions now. Arnold's mismatch, though, and he makes it just 1. Payne with it to Johnson, to Wellington. He can't get the layup to go. Javon Davis forced a really awkward shot. And now will fire and knock it down. 1-point game. Anderson to Payne. No, don't shoot that. But he made it! He hit the shot! Yes! Simmons takes the screen from Aaron Gordon, pulls the trigger, and answers right back. Hollins to Anderson. Missing that one. Now St. Louis a chance to get back out in front. Davis for 3. Airballed it. Martin dives out of bounds, but saves it for Vancouver instead of the Sound. We feed Johnson down low against Arnold. He's fouled. And that puts us in the bonus for the rest of the quarter. Johnson's first free throw is up and good. And he knocks down both. Carney checks in at small forward. Zubac comes in for center. Davis, the step back jumper, missed it. Zubac boxes out Arnold for the board. Fantastic job. A time to increase our lead. Carney, open jumper. Can't do it, though. The assist would have gone to Hollins, but instead it's a miss. Gordon feeds Davis in the paint against Carney. He fires and missed the shot. Good stop. Hollins with it. He goes to Carney, trying again. This time he knocks it down, and now we're up by 5. Simmons takes the screen, fades away. Tough shot, missed it too. Hollins back to Wellington, and he's fouled at the rim by Javon Davis. We have not missed a free throw so far this game. And that won't change with his first free throw. And he goes 2 for 2. Nice work, Wellington. We now lead by 7. A lot more free throws for us than them. Arnold sets the screen. Simmons fires. That one rattles home. Wellington crosses the court. Hollins goes to him. He'll pull the trigger. And that one goes. Under 2 to go into the fourth quarter. Simmons has it. He finds Davis for an open look, which drops. Wellington knocks it down again. Another nice shot for him. Vancouver up by 8. Simmons, the floater in the face of Hollins, can't knock it down. Now on the other end, Wellington with it. Screen from Keldon Johnson coming. He'll take it, fire a 3, left it short this time. Simmons attacks the rim and gets 2 more this time. Hollins for 3. Got it to go. Top of the key, too, is a wide open look. Pretty big shot. Hopefully carry us into the fourth quarter. We can get one more stop here. Arnold's off the feed from Simmons down low against Zubats. He'll fake him out. Nice move. We still have one more shot, though, in this quarter. Last shot, here we go. Hollins to Keldon Johnson for 3. He knocks it down, too. And that makes it a 10-point lead for Vancouver as we head to the fourth quarter, up 84 to 74.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Your sound, 74, Vancouver, 84.
All right, 7:24 to go here in the fourth quarter. We have increased our lead from 10 to 15 as it's now a 102 to 87 score line, and we also have the ball. Hollins to Anderson, wide open look from deep. He's not going to miss too many of those. Jackson against Keldon Johnson now. Big size mismatch. He steps back and fires, and really not much of a shot contest there. He's got 16 points. Anderson cuts down the middle. Hollins finds him. And they're too slow. They have to foul him. But he scored either way. 23 first half points and 14 here in the second. Monster day for Simon Anderson. And he's not done yet. He'll tack on one more point here. Davis blocked by Payne. Brooks has to dive for the ball, but didn't really have to. He just chose to. St. Louis ends up back with it. Barker for 3, missed it. Wagner pulls down the board. St. Louis running out of time and steam here. Payne sets the screen. Anderson spots up for 3. That one rattles out, though. Jackson against Keldon Johnson again. Can he score this time? Yep. And again, no shot contest by Keldon Johnson. Anderson to Payne. Not going to take a chance on a 3 here. They'll go to Franz instead. He finds Anderson, but he's well covered. And we have to actually force a shot here. And it doesn't matter because it's going to go in. And that gives him 40 on the day. Another just monster performance by Anderson, man. I love this guy. I can't say it enough. As Davis hits that pull-up jumper. 110 to 93, your current score. Anderson for 3, wide open. Well, not really, but he missed it. Payne got the board, though. He fades away, missing it. Too much on it. And I think from here on out, we're going to just only include the highlights, like all the made shots by us, or steals, or blocks, or things like that for us. Payne, what a block on Jaren Jackson Jr. Still 2.7 on the shot clock, but already the first play matchup against him, he blocks him. Franz, what a shot over Jackson. That was very well contested, too. Anderson takes the screen from Payne. Got the switch to Time Lord. Goes to Payne. He has to fire. Got 2. And that should be enough. Hollins to Anderson for 3. Not contested, but Payne's there on the offensive glass to put it back in. After a couple of buckets and a couple of free throws, Vancouver takes this one 120-113 as we take down St. Louis on their home court. A really strong away victory, and that gets us one step closer to the 1 seed in the Western Conference, but we're not there yet. The Sound get 24 from Barker in the loss. Jackson had 23. Most of his points came in the fourth quarter when they were already down by a lot. Javon Davis had a poor first half, but I think really rebounded back in the second half. Got 21 points, 9 for 19 from the field. Simmons scored 11. Brooks had 10. But the Woodsmen got 42, 7 and 5 from Anderson, and 15 for 25 shooting and 40 minutes of action. Absolutely fantastic performance. Wellington played well off the bench, 17 points, 6 assists in just 22 minutes. Keldon Johnson had 16 points. Don Payne, a double-double and 4 blocks. Carney had 12 points. Hollins had 10, 4, and 12 with 2 steals. Wagner had 10 points and 7 boards on 4 for 6 shooting. The only guy who did not score at all or in double figures was Zubats with 0 on 2 shots, but he still had 9 boards. So every single player had some important contributions to this win. So that means we are now 39-23 on the year. We have played 3 more games than the Thunder. We are a half game back from them, and we are a half game in front of the Spurs and Pelicans, who simply just have 1 more loss than we do. The deadline for contract extensions is also coming up, and we only have 1 player who is even eligible for one, and it's Franz Wagner. And he has a player option, so he has pretty much said that he's going to test the open market. But we also have his bird rights, so we do have the ability to, I believe, restrict him. But if he has the player option, we might not be able to. I'm not exactly sure how that works. So I guess we'll find out, but I do want to bring him back at our earliest possible convenience. So that is the goal when we get there. But that is all I have for us today. We made some really good progress towards our goal this episode, and I think we're going to have some really fun games this last month and a half of the season, including this game down here against Cleveland, which won't be next episode, but probably the one after that. So we'll see how we get to that point, but we are nearing the end of the season and approaching the playoffs, so look forward to that. Thanks guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.